Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Hope you are doing well, per usual. This video is intended to serve as a slight warning for those of you who like doing database stuff. Now, I don't want to sensationalize too much, but we have a slight SQL warning here in the video, um, shown by Beaker here being overly surprised by that. But basically what I wanted to do was show you an issue that I've noticed recently. Recently being last semester in my undergrad class. Now, we will be doing database stuff, and you shouldn't worry about SQL. It's standard, right? But your options in Google Cloud is to pop over to SQL. Now you can use Cloud SQL, which is your fairly standard MySQL or Postgres or SQL Server, whichever your favorite flavor of SQL. You create an instance, you get databases up and running on there. Life is good, right? We also have Spanner, right? So this is another environment for doing database work, and it's a very similar thing. It is interestingly, so this class always changes, right? This is different than it was a few weeks ago. I don't remember this free trial thing existing here. Oh, that's a delight. Okay. My billing is working, so I shouldn't be seeing any of this nonsense. But that goes to tell you that this is even more um, fun. So, test instance, hit continue. So, this is Spanner. If you go through the materials, you should remember that Spanner is a horizontally scaled thing, meaning that it is going to be replicated worldwide, and that's how we will basically ensure uptime and things of that nature. Okay, so I'm doing my free trial here. I'm not going to click through it and all that. Let's do Central 1. We have low CO2 there. Okay, I don't want to create the instance. Um, the thing that I'm leading you towards, I don't want to start this because I don't want this nonsense in my account. This is going to be in the hundreds of dollars, I believe. Last time I checked that. So let's see, hourly. Okay, so it's not going to tell me until I create the thing. Lovely. I can save 20% by committing to a year. Basically, Spanner will drain your account nearly immediately if you set this up. Fair warning, okay? But that's to be expected. It is a very high-powered database management system, okay? Use this if you have a huge application that you need distributed worldwide, okay? But, we're not going to use Spanner. Let's use Cloud SQL, right? So standard MySQL environment. So let's create an instance. Let's do MySQL. Okay, so enterprise production. So here's all of our standard usage cost things. I'm not going to set this up right now because I just want to show you what happens. All right, so this would be setting up, it'd be very similar to setting up a compute instance where you create the instance and then you install stuff to it. Here it's going to create the instance and auto set up SQL for you, okay? And we get 8 CPU, 8 vCPU, 64 gigs of RAM, 250 gigs of storage by default. Here's all of your read-write info. This is the base case here for us. Maybe if yeah, so enterprise by itself is 32 gigs. Okay, so a little bit lower. Now, why we're talking about this is that about 4 or 5 weeks ago in one of my other classes, I was showing them databases in SQL because I was just part of the class. I'm like, you know what? I'm doing cloud stuff right now. Let's just throw it up in Google Cloud so that I don't have to install MySQL in 10 different places because sometimes it's a pain in the butt. So I went over to Cloud SQL. I created an instance. I created a database with a single table with a single row in that table. And it was for CIS641. So it's like, welcome to CIS641 or something silly like that. Okay, that is all I did. Created an instance, created a database, created a table, inserted a single row. I may have run 2 to 3 select queries to pull that data out. Trivial, right? Okay, so let's pop over to billing. Okay, so again, this would have been let's say a month ago. All right, so right now I've got nothing really going on. Um, so this is, outing when I'm recording this video. But basically, this is mid-December right now, and I've used $1 in credits. Okay, so if I go to reports, which I was just in, I wasn't just in there. Okay, so I'm not seeing anything here. Let's go year to date. Okay, so Cloud SQL, $25. This was active for 3 days before I noticed it and shut it off. A nice example for why you should set billing limits on your services, or warnings at least, because I noticed overnight this thing, I think on day 2, I looked into my credits because I was showing something for the undergrad class, so like here's billing or something like that. Where did all my credits go? Oh, Cloud SQL is running and it is just draining my account by being active. So basically, long story short, for the purposes of this class, you probably do not need to run Cloud SQL or Cloud Spanner. You probably can get by a lot cheaper with a compute engine instance running MySQL Server or Maria or Postgres or whatever you want to install. Basically, if you manage it yourself, it's going to be a heck of a lot cheaper. Again, this was just on, like, I wasn't doing anything with it. It wasn't actively working. And if you pop over into Cloud SQL, by the way, I don't believe there's a way to shut it off once it's created. So if I were to create an instance here, let's do MySQL, blah, 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 lovely, lovely. Let's generate an actual password so that nobody logs in. Okay, create an instance. So this will take a second here. Okay, this beautiful ASDF instance. I guess I can stop it. Okay, maybe that would have been the smart thing for me to do, but if you're running a database server, there's a good chance you forget to turn it off, right? So if you need to use Cloud SQL, make sure you stop things, I suppose. But I would recommend just doing a compute engine instance with MySQL in there. So yeah, just wanted to kind of point you to that. It's one of those things where you can very quickly drain your account without even realizing it. Okay, so I'm going to delete this once it spins up because it's got to finish creating before you can do anything with it. But other than that, good luck and have fun with local SQL. All right, bye everybody.